Good morning, children. Welcome to our online classes, Little Scholars Public School. As we have seen, History chapter number 2, Sources of History. In that, we have seen the material sources, written sources as sources of history, and now we are going to see about the oral sources of history. So, first of all, you can do this. Visit a museum in your locality. Write an essay describing the artifacts displayed there. Collect the traditional verses such as OVs. Collect folk songs. Present one of them in the cultural program of your school. So, now we are going to start the oral sources. Oral sources, OVs, folk songs, folk tales. Similar literature is passed on from generation to generation by word of mouth. Children, as you have, maybe you have listened the folk tales like the bedtime stories as your granny or mother usually said, and the folk songs also. This way, this literature is not in the written form, but this literature passed on from generation to generation by word of mouth. Its authors are unknown. Who wrote these kinds of stories? Nobody knows. These types of stories or songs are not available in the written form. This type of literature preserved by oral tradition forms of the oral sources of history. This way, the OVs, folk songs, folk tales, or similar literature, this type of literature is called as the oral sources of history. Here, one of the OV has been given. पांडुरंग पिता रुक्मिण माझी बया आषाढवारी येला पुंडलिकाला न्याया. From this OV, we can understand Pandurang called as father, Rukmin as mother, and the great devotee of Vithala or Pandurang, Pundalik, he came to take me for the Ashadhi Vari. If you know, children, tomorrow there is a Ashadhi Ekadashi, and for that many of the people from Maharashtra, not only from Maharashtra, from all over the world, they came to take darshan of Lord Panduranga. So, for that this OV has been written. Some lines from the folk song also have been given here. Mahanagri Ujni, Ujni as called as Ujjaini, लई पुण्यवान दानी तेथे नांदत होता राजा सुखी होती प्रजा तिन्ही लोकी गाजा वाजा असा उजनीचा इक्रम means Vikramaditya Raja. If you have heard the stories, folk stories of Vikram or Vetal, those stories also taken from these kinds of oral sources. So, these are the oral sources. Folk songs and folk tales are types of oral sources. These sources are passed from generation to generation by word of mouth. The authors are unknown. These types of sources are also teach us about the past. Now we are going to see about the sources of ancient Indian history. Children, you can write this table in your socials or histories notebook. Here clearly given material sources, written sources and oral sources. In the material sources, artifacts and structural remains given, rock paintings, pottery, terracotta, beads, ornaments, sculptures, metal objects, coins, weapons, as we have seen these all. So, in that structural courses, structural remains, in that caves, houses, stupas, rock cut, temples, churches, mosques and pillars. In the written sources, inscriptions of Harappan seals, Vedic literature, Mesopotamian clay tablets, manuscript copies of Mahabharata and Ramayana, Jain and Buddhist literature, writings of Greek historians, travelers by Chinese travelers, books on grammar like Puranas and inscriptions. Now, oral sources also are here given. The Vedic, Buddhist and Jain literature of ancient India was preserved by oral tradition. It is now available in the written form. Even so, the oral tradition is still alive. When oral compositions are used for story writings, they are included in the oral sources. Whatever the oral sources are there, stories, songs, or the folk songs, folk tales, so these are called as the oral sources. Children, you must have to write this table in your notebook. Now we are going to see about the oral sources of ancient Indian history. The ancient period of Indian history extends from Stone Age to the 8th century CE. Stone Age to the 8th century CE. You can see the Stone Age picture have been given here. What kind of people were there in the Stone Age, and later on in the 8th century the lifestyle of people also have been changed. We learnt about the Stone Age period of Indian history through archaeological excavations. Whatever the excavations have been done, by that we can understand the Indian history. Since script had not developed at that time, no written sources are available. Any kind of written source was not available, and script also was not developed. So that way whatever the excavation have been done, by that only we can understand the Indian history. However, information about the ancient period from 1500 BCE onwards can be derived from the Vedic literature. The Vedic literature also, after the ancient period from 1500 BCE onwards, BCE, birth of Jesus Christ. After that, the Vedic literature started to write. In the beginning, the Vedas were not in the written form. The Vedas also were not in the written form. The ancient Indians had developed the technique of memorizing and reciting them. Whatever the wordings were there, whatever the oral sources were there, the technique of memorizing and reciting them was developed, had been developed. The Vedas were written down later on. The Vedas and the post-Vedic literature also had started to written down. It includes the Brahmanas, Upanishads. It is given here, the important sources of ancient Indian history. From this we can understand the Indian history, like by that it includes the Brahmanas, the Upanishads, the epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata. The Jain and the Buddhist literature also was formed, and plays also, poems also were there. By the stone inscription also, the pillar is inscription like the pillar inscription and the travelers of the foreign travelers. By this kind of material, we can understand the Vedas or the post-Vedic literature. We also learn about ancient Indian history through material sources like archaeological remains, as we have seen yet before, that Harappan civilization, ancient monuments and coins found in the excavation. Whatever things have been found while doing the excavation, by that we can understand the livelihood of people, or the what type of food or the lifestyle of the people was there, we can understand by this excavation. Precautions to be taken while writing history we are going to see now. It is necessary to take precautions while using these sources to write history. Whatever sources have been found in the archaeological remains or the ancient monuments, or from the coins, or whatever things have been found in the excavation, it is necessary to take precaution. The thing whatever they got should be examined or critically examined by the specialists. A written document cannot be said to be authentic just because it is old. If the thing is old, that means it is related to the historical. It is not like that. For that, it needs to be examined critically as to who wrote it, why and when it was written. By that only one can be said the thing is historical or the thing have been written in the history. So while writing the history, these things we must have to understand and then only start to write the history. The conclusions drawn on the basis of various genuine documents have to be cross-checked or corroborated with one another. It should be cross-checked also by the specialist. Such a critical analysis is very important in the writing of history. That means the thing should be completely historical, then only the history can be right. For that these things must have to be mentioned and then only the history can be right. So these are the precautions to be taken while writing history. That way any special thing is there, then only we can write the history or the history can be written. Children, up to this we have learned the chapter number 2, sources of history. Here answer in one sentence, and the second question, classify the following sources as material sources, written sources and oral sources are given. So this you have to classify, write down in your notebook. Whatever work I am giving, that also you have to write in the notebook. There is no need to give whenever I am giving that test, there is no need to mention the marks whatever you got, because I know it automatically. So the written form, whatever you are writing homework, that only you have to send me. Thank you.